A new video on my music channel. Uh, Many of you who follow my channel will be aware that I live in Thailand, and so the very topical vinyl finds videos that many channel members uh, use in their choice of video are beyond me, because there's no vinyl here in Thailand. So with that out of the equation, um, and a few aspects to those type of videos that I find somewhat confusing, I seek alternatives. And my channel, as you probably gathered, covers reviews of individual albums, a number of reviews on a particular genre for a different year. Then I do ranking videos year by year, and also songs now of it being included, and also I started last year new releases, and I did a dozen new release videos last year, and I've continued that this year. I've so far having uploaded 3, but the constant release of new albums, has got to the point where I'm running uphill all the time, and so I've decided to do a new segment to keep pace with that. And this series of videos, and this is the first, I've decided to call New Releases Magazine News. So what that means is I'm going to go through the new releases and briefly describe some of the details, but not do anything resembling a review, so that I can cover far more. Now, I had to start somewhere, so I've decided to start with April, and I'm hoping to do 2 of these a month. What happens with January, February and March? Well, yeah, I might catch up, but I've also got movie reviews to consider on my second channel. So that's basically what's going to happen today. It's going to be new releases, but more as a sort of magazine news type thing rather than a review. I said with my first half of April new releases magazine news. I'm going to start off with Unlimited Love. This is the 12th studio album by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and for this album they brought back John Frusciante, their guitarist, on most of their highly successful albums, including Be My Way and Californication. Anyway, he's back on board after a decade away, and we get very moving funk jams and atmospheric, mind-bending rock tracks, the latter of which usually benefit from a killer Frusciante solo. Black Summer is the new single, and it's simply class. I've listened to the album now twice, and it is a very strong album. Moving on, number 2 is Set Sail. This is by a band I don't know, the Northern Mississippi All-Stars. They provide organic southern sounds drawn from deep soul and blues, and also include something called live funk, not sure what that means, and psychedelic, and they're very easy on the vibe. Gorgeous, the gorgeous Never Want to Be Kissed, with gospel harmonies and lush horns, has William Bell on guest vocals, and he clocks in a mere 82 years of age, and he was very famous in the Motown 60s era. So it's worth a listen, this classy stuff. Next up is Avatars of Love by Sandra Lurch. Don't know this artist, but it's an artist that's been around, a male that is, for some years. This is a really powerful set of songs in the contemporary ballad style, but they're packed with arrangements, lush strings, sporadic horns, and excerpts of chamber pop. And it requires frequent listens, but they will be rewarded. The attention to detail by Lurch is pronounced, and he creates a collage of very, very moving songs. Many are lengthy, and one I'd like to highlight here is the 12-minute Dead of the Night. In the music, there's often jazz phases that give us a snippet of free-form jazz, but it's far more than that, and I suggest you get to listen to it. Next up, Fear of the Dawn by Jack White from the White Stripes. He presents a solid set of alt-rock material here, but offers a few surprises to avoid repetition. The songs focus on time, specifically dawn, the dawn day. There's some heavy-footed blues stomps, manic vocal wails, cascading waves of guitar fuzz, with occasional softer acoustic guitar and piano deafness. Heidi Ho is the first one that caught my ear, and it illustrates what I've said perfectly. Next is Chloe and the Next 20th Century. This is by Father John Misty, which is a moniker for Josh Tillman, who started off with the Fleet Foxes. He's done a handful of solo albums as Father John Misty now, and he delivers he's got a staggering talent, this man, and his songs deliver some lovely wit. He's a great vocalist, and he's had a catalogue of consistently strong albums. Some of them have been linked with the harmonic beauty that we first heard with Crosby, Stills and Nash, but he's also got a lot of arrangement on here, and he writes songs, and here there's a nod to such famous singer-songwriters as Randy Newman and Harry Nilsson. In fact, he redoes Everybody's Talking, which sounds a little bit like the original, which of course was a big hit for Harry Nilsson. The title of that track, by the way, is Goodbye Mr. Blue. It's a very polished album. He explores short song territory, and the Sweetly Sad Buddies Rendezvous is a highlight, and a bossa nova sway on Olvidado. Now to some more pop type releases. Second Nature by Lucius. Lucius brings together two vocalists and songwriters, Jess Wolfe and Holly Lessek. And after these two spent a year touring stadiums as backing singers for Roger Waters, they decided to give it a go themselves, and they present a mix of 80s infused disco pop and power ballads. They showcase the singers in demand blended emotive vocal, and there's some nice synth pop disco mixes on this. Next up is Familiar by Camila Cabello. I picked up one of her albums a few years back, and it was very pleasant indeed. She actually presents the Latin pop, and is in the same bag as Shakira. Her Latin American roots are to the fore, and she sings in both English and Spanish, and this is her third record, I believe. She does a duet with Ed Sheeran called Bam Bam, which is absolutely fantastic, and pays homage to Celia Cruz, the legendary South American singer, with a song called If You Love, and that's bathed in lots of horns and percussion, Cuban style. There's also a stab at mariachi guitar into the sounds, and Don't Go Yet is the festive pop bounce single, which has some rousing background vocals and has the Cuban percussion. Great stuff it is. Next news item, new releases. This is by Orville Peck, another artist I don't know. His latest album is called Bronco. He's been described as a bit of a cosmic cowboy, and there's certainly a lot of country influence here. It's his Sophomore album, and he's an effective storyteller, to be sure. Powerful arrangements, though, drench the country foundations, and it has the air of almost a Hollywood Western CinemaScope movie soundtrack in places. The title track also hints at a young Elvis rocking the rockabilly crowd, and many of the tracks have a punchy rock feel. Lafayette is a standout for me. Next up is El Mirador, which is by a band called Calexico, another Latino flavour here. This is Calexico's 10th album, but this is the first I've heard. It's got that Latin flavour with trumpet and horn additions. There's Kumbaya on here. Songs sung in English mainly. It's a non-stop festive fiesta atmosphere with winding guitars and brass flares. Their origins are Tucson, Arizona, and the title track is very representative of their quality. And so to the next one, few more to go, in fact 2 more to go, is called Tilt. It's by a band called Confidence Man. They're very much disco pop 90s style. This is their second. If you're familiar with LCD Sound System, you'll possibly love this. I also heard quite a bit of Madonna in the rhythms here. Excellent production. It's very much dance your care away and very infectious disco sound. The last one on this brief video is a collection by Daryl Hall called Before After. I am a huge fan of Hall & Oates, and I've also got a number of Daryl Hall's solo albums. He's made in total 5, I think, and I've got 3 of them, or maybe is that 4. He started off with one called Sacred Songs in the 1980, at the height of the Hall & Oates fame. Free Hearts, which was much more psychedelic rock, appeared in 86 and had the hit Dreamtown. A lovely album came out in 93 called Soul Alone, and then he's done Can't Stop Dreaming in 96 and Laughing Down Crying in 2011. I really like this collection. A lot of songs from the first 3. The highlight, and it really is a 5-star gem, is a track called I'm in a Philly Mood. And here, of course, Daryl draws on his superb soul voice out of Philadelphia, and this ballad is idyllic. So there we go. In the description you will see some links to songs from these albums, and also I'm not quite sure what else I've got in there, but certainly there will be some music links to these albums, and I will be endeavouring to do a few more at the back end of this month. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little snippets of new releases. Check them out, well worth it.